Ken Cooper, Fire and Emergency NZ Hawke's Bay District Manager. Thank you for your time today to chat to Hawke's Bay app. It's been quite a week. In this disaster, you're now the Urban Search and Rescue Team Leader. What are you responsible for?
So we report, we take our priority taskings from NEMA and the Hawke's Bay Civil Defence. And so I'm responsible for ensuring that we take those priority taskings and deliver on those for the community.
And how bad is it out there?
So I think we've described this as an unprecedented event, and certainly very arduous, challenging, difficult conditions for our urban search and rescue people, our firefighters and partner agencies. So what we're experiencing is clearly the weather is it's hot, it's uncomfortable, and the silt now that is now hardening and turning to dust, that's now turning into a hazardous substance for us.
And when did you first get the call?
So fire and emergency, we pre-positioned ahead of the storm. So we had the intelligence provided from the weather experts, and we knew this was going to be a significant event, particularly for the East Coast and into the Hawke's Bay. So I personally pre-positioned into Tairafiti at first with my central USAR team.
Okay, and how was it up there?
So certainly significant damage for the East Coast and the Gisborne region. Our fire and emergency urban search and rescue, we undertook what we call wide area assessments. We went into the community to assess and prioritise the greatest needs that civil defence could then put an action plan into place. So significant numbers of roading infrastructure damage, isolated communities, and damaged properties.
Now you say you were prepared for it to be a significant event, but could you ever have dreamed that it would be on this scale?
So we are experienced. We've deployed nationally and internationally. Most of us have been in urban search and rescue since Christchurch and before. A lot of our people are saying that this is it's quite a unique event. For one, it's geographically spread. The challenge is having no power, no internet, no connectivity. So it's a significant challenge for the communities that really has stretched our capability.
Now there's a lot of talk of how many people there are missing.
Yes.
How many of those, or what is the sort of proportion of those that are just people who don't have communications but are actually quite fine, and others who you genuinely have concern for?
So working with the New Zealand Police, working very closely and with the community, we have a list of people that are unaccounted for. Now that list is diminishing each day as new intelligence comes in, and absolutely as connectivity and power comes back on, a lot of those people are being accounted for by the police. Our list has gone from this morning, 1,020 this morning, down to a priority list for us of 40 individuals throughout Hawke's Bay. So Urban Search and Rescue New Zealand plus Australia, we've prioritised those tasks and we're undertaking searches of those properties today.
And which areas are the worst affected from what you've seen?
So we had 5 priority sectors within the Hawke's Bay. Significantly the Esk Valley and the Puketapu, Miani, Dartmoor are priority sectors. We can say that persons that are unaccounted for that have been reported to New Zealand Police, we've carried out searches on those properties, and we're confident today, up till this morning, that we had carried out the searches and accounted for everybody. I would say that now this new list that's been given to us of 40 individuals is our priority.
And I suppose even the rescuing is different, because when the event was happening it was plucking people off roofs and that. How has it evolved as the days have gone on?
So I'd really like to stress that this response started with our communication centre. Put under significant pressure, unprecedented number of calls. And I really want to mention the communication centre people who were fielding those calls that were coming in. So We obviously triage those calls. Numerous numbers of first responders from the community doing rescues, helicopters. There are a lot of stories coming out of the community of rescues. So therefore, it really allows us as urban search and rescues to come in and carry out those significant rescues.
Yeah. And so now it's just a case of going to locations and looking and seeing if you can find anyone.
So conditions are very challenging.
Yeah.
We've got silt issues, and so we really are doing everything we can to ensure that everyone is accounted for. We've got 90 urban search and rescue people in the field working with police search and rescue. We've got 4 police dogs and defence assets, all focused on carrying out this search.
Yeah. And it's going to rain again, it looks like it, so are you preparing for that?
So we've been in the community today. We've had our urban search and rescue people in the community working to clear drains and really undertaking any tasks that will prepare us for the storm. So we are prepared for what's coming over the next 2 or 3 days.
And we've heard tales of extreme bravery and that. What are some of the things that your team, you must be very proud of them, what they've got up to?
Yeah, absolutely. As an organisation, Fire and Emergency has invested heavily into a capability that it was ready to deploy for this event. Everything from training of incident management teams, equipment. So for me, looking at our response, I am very proud of what we have achieved in serving the community.
Yeah, and obviously there have been some fire staff lives lost, and that you were talking about attending virtually the funeral of one in Auckland today. That's quite sad, eh?
So as a leader or as a member of Fire and Emergency, the number one priority is the safety of our people.
Yeah.
And what keeps me awake at night is the potential that there is an injury or we lose a firefighter.
Yeah.
So for that to have become a reality, it's a very dark day for us.
Yeah.
We are resilient. We will come together and remember today, and we'll be stronger going forward.
Yeah. And now you obviously very experienced, and you said you've seen a lot of this stuff, but you said it's quite a unique situation. What shocked you about it?
I think it was for me the positivity of the community that have come together.
Yeah.
There's been a significant community resilience in the provincial areas that's allowed this, for them to come together and build back better.
Yeah.
What has shocked me is the scale of the damage that's come through some of these communities. That's affected people at the community right now, and the economy is the state it's in. So this on top of that, there are some communities out there that are really hurting and struggling at the moment.
Yeah. And in terms of the safety of your team and that, because you hear all these stories of how it's lawlessness out there, and obviously Facebook and that is going crazy with that. Have you found much intimidation or threats of that towards you and your staff?
So we are very conscious of safety and security of our people, and we do put procedures in place. New Zealand Police give us advice when we're working in the community. But what I can say definitely is that the community, we've been very well received by the community, and we've worked alongside the community on this response.
Now, we spoke about the different phases and that, and so what phase are you in now? Are you still in the rescue, or are you in recovery? What is
So we would describe it, we're still in the response phase.
Yeah.
We have been given information today of 40 unaccounted for persons. So until such times as we can conclude a reasonable search of those properties and deconstruct those properties as required, we will still remain in that response phase.
And obviously this could be finding people alive, hopefully. This could be people deceased. How do you prepare for that?
So as when you join Urban Search and Rescue, there is an assessment. We are highly skilled, experienced, and we do have psychological training. And then we ensure that once we demobilise and when we start to, once we've accounted for people that have been brought to our attention, we do have a psychological debriefing session with our urban search and rescuers. It is definitely a priority for us to ensure that our firefighters, on every account, try not to take this home with them.
Yeah. And how long do you see this going, your role as urban search and rescue going on? Because obviously you've got another job, as well, fire and emergency. So how do you see this going on?
So we have committed to the community of Hawke's Bay that urban search and rescue, we will commit to, if it's brought to our attention that there is a location of interest and an accounted for person, urban search and rescue will respond to carry out a search.
And what happens after things go back to normal? I mean, what is normal now?
So we do have a process where urban search and rescue we will hand back to the Hawke's Bay district in terms of so that we won't certainly be withdrawing from the community. We're developing a recovery plan in conjunction with our partner agencies and the community leaders that we will implement when urban search and rescue operation finishes.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you're staying as a unit here on base, and that how has this affected you personally?
The team, Urban Search and Rescue, the people that are involved in Urban Search and Rescue are a very close-knit group of people. We have deployed internationally and nationally for a number of years, so we would describe ourselves as a family. So we support each other, and we ensure that the families of the responders are also supported. So we have a special bond, so we ensure that we have a debrief after this. Personally, for me, my job is to look after the team, enable them to do their job for the community.
And what's the thing that stands out for you? You did mention the resilience of the community, but what else? What has stood out for you in this moment?
So we have been working with the community, and it has, for me, really been humbling and a privilege to work alongside those community leaders who have really stepped into to those roles in terms of looking to respond and to help move into that recovery phase. Certainly, the bravery and the camaraderie and the community resilience is really, for me, looking in, has really been, as I said, humbling. We've worked with Ngāti Kananunu, iwi, over the last, during the response, and certainly again we were welcomed at Omahu Marae last night, where we had a chance to come together as a team and reflect and with the people from the Marae.